LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Welcome back to the StarLadder ImbaTV Chongqing Invitational.
Nailed
There
it.
we go. Nailed
Got
it.
it.
I'm like almost kind of proud.
Set you up for the web redemption, Tosh 0.0 style, and you delivered on it. So
Boom.
well done.
I'm actually quite I'm humbled from that. That's good. Happy days. Nice way to open our third and final map.
Indeed it is. The loser of this will be out of the tournament. Winner will be moving on to a decider best of 3 tomorrow against Spirit. Each team has confidently won their map pick. Flash took Cobble. Boot took Mirage. So now we're on Cash. Common ground for both teams. Both teams enjoy this map. So it makes it a good battlefield to see who's going to deliver. And Lovey so far stepping up to the plate with a couple of headshots with that USP. But Boot do eventually control the B site, and they will get a plant.
And, hungry for more, but Benkai going to shut that down quick as anything. Splashka, meanwhile, putting in the work from the site itself. Attacker will chime on in, but is that a little too late? That is the question. Attacker straight on the defuse, actually. Benkai, you got to go, and you just can't.
Yeah, so there you have it. Despite Boot getting control of the site, really good fragging from Lovey early on, kind of ensured a man advantage for Flash. They capitalize on it, almost a team ace. Only Aeon wasn't involved in the fragging on that one for the Chinese team with Flash Gaming. So they get the 1-0 start, and I think that's good because they look so flat on Mirage. They look really disjointed. Again, I think what we talked about throughout this series was that it felt like Boot Dreamscape were a bit more put together because they still have their set 5, even though they know Moxie's leaving. At least they have all the stuff they've built up over the last months still here in this square, as Flash is in a weird place. Roster rumors are circulating. They're without Kaze at this event. They're without their main in-game leader for a while, and holy shnikes. Flash key.
Not bad. What a way to open. Lovey can't do anything either, just struggling to catch them as they do enter the site. Orman, good position. Going to play catch with the bomb, but nothing he can do to deny that. And then the smoke to be dropped, and voila. The B site is yours. Bon appetit.
Yeah, Splash is pretty low on HP, so is Benkai, so there's certainly still a way back into this for Flash. Especially since no one has armor here for the Boot Dreamscape side of things.
Ion, you've just got to play with your teammates now. Handle this together. You are one tight-knit, cohesive unit. Get it done.
And that's good. That's good. That's good stuff there. They took that together. Again, on Mirage, they look not on the same page. They were doing a lot of individual stuff. They weren't taking things together. So good to see them do like a well-coordinated retake on this B-bomb site. And that's going to put them up 2-0. Boot did get another bomb plant, but because they invested a decent amount of money into this round, I don't know if they can really keep buying. Okay, yeah, they can. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is their big one, right?
Yeah.
They put everything they can into this. They have gone all in at the poker table in round 3.
I guess I misjudged how much they spent to get that bomb plant. I guess it wasn't that much. So, yeah, back-to-back bomb plants give them plenty of money to get a round going here.
It is happy, happy days. But they got to make this one work, Dustin.
Yeah.
This has got to work.
Of course, it'll set them back if it didn't. They'd have to take a save and Flash basically get 4-0 for free at that point. So, we'll see. Aggression from Flash at middle to kick things off. Alman pushing way up close with the UMP.
What's the information as well in terms of the sound cues that you can get from a main? You can hear that orb, potentially.
Yep. So absolutely.
It's really good just to kind of get that early scouting going.
Right. We are going to see Boot Dreamscape sending a lot of pressure towards B lobby, so it seems like they wanted to go mid-control into a B split. Bomb's even kind of outside of B lobby, dropped. Aeon, though, aggressive inside the vents, and Almond still in the closet, so this could make mid control very difficult for B.O.O.T.
There you go. Flashes come through as well. So far, so good. I mean, aggression from Ormond is exactly what you want here. Has to be careful not to overextend, sure, but like it's all the information that Flash Gaming have got picked up. They now pretty much know that Moxie was there, kind of moving over through mid, likely towards A, so it should be pretty predictable. That's where they're going to be. As Hacker can just kind of confirm that. The Flash leaves them blind as well. Moxie has to try and think about crossing. You know, Splash being annihilated on site by Attacker anyway. I mean, it's everything just coming up trumps. Leaving just fancy to push this one over the line. Should be fairly simple. Moxie is low after all.
Yeah, but it's the UMP at distance against an AK, and now he's down to 14. Now it's all of a sudden a tighter situation, but Moxie is going to run out of time eventually.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. You've got time on your side. So Moxie Smart realizes that the win condition there isn't the plant, and it's actually just the jewel in itself.
He does win it, so that is B.O.O.T. Dreamscape capitalizing on their opening buy there, so it's going to be 2-1. Flash, though, still able to put a purchase together. It's certainly lacking a little bit for a couple of players, but still a decent amount. Yeah, no utility, no kits, one player, so hasn't spent their money yet. Almond hasn't bought, so I'm not sure what he is going to wind up with. He does have enough money to go for like pistol armor utility. Certainly could go UMP armor as well. So it's just kind of up to him on what he wants to spend the money on.
I don't know if I like this buy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just about trying to keep it close, and they know that B.O.O.T. Dreamscape's economy is not that great. If they can win this round and reset them, then they'd have to force B.O.O.T. Dreamscape onto a save, so it keeps it close, right? And it gives you a chance to actually steam out ahead. If you win this round and B.O.O.T. are reset, then you can still take like a 4-1 lead before B.O.O.T. can buy again. So it's definitely like a risk that has a huge payoff, and it's not even that big of a risk. I mean, it's still early on in the game. You still have plenty of rounds to work with, so taking one here early isn't as big of a deal.
I guess the focus will be just how they use their utility to kind of play out this round and how aggressive they're willing to get. Because that really is something I think goes hand in hand with a very low utility round, is just going for a little bit of aggression here and there. Calculated aggression, sure. You know, there's never a reason not to be smart about the pushes you make, but I think passive play, super withdrawn stuff, when you've got no mollies, you've barely got any smokes even, and you've used all of your smokes already. So definitely something the Flash need to think through and just figure out, really.
Yep.
Benkai just pushing and prodding around mid, the nades exchanging blows on either side of things, but overall Flash Gaming just very, very far back right now, getting close at least towards Fork, but they're waiting for B.O.O.T. to make a move.
Indeed. So it's pretty default setup here from Flash Gaming, 2-1-2. Benkai and Almond may be getting into a duel here soon at middle. Benkai does get control of middle, gets under the vents, but isn't committed to anything just yet. It's very much at a standstill right now. Everyone just playing really passive default CS at this point, so not a lot of chances for interactions, but Benkai may start pushing the envelope a little bit.
Just kind of wandering around, giving it away the fact that he has dropped, so Ormond likely aware of that. May consider moving forward. Benkai, though, getting so far up highway, begins to sort of find risk here. The Aeon just saying crouch behind Fork, let him walk on out, knows what's coming, can't connect for the kill, they're only getting damage in. At least information is at the table. Attacker springs out wide and gets the double anyway. Flash is still standing proud. Aeon, you are the player to watch. Oh, line them up, knocks them down, whips out the USP to finish it off as well.
Ooh, they got a little bit scared when he ran out of bullets, so he was able to get the USP out and get that second kill. They never really sniffed him out on Forklift. They were taking so much damage from Attacker inside the site that, you know, he was able to kind of remain the snake in the grass over at Forklift and comes back to close out the round. So well done. That is 3-1. The Force Buyer pans out. Now they've reset Dreamscape, and this is where they can start building up their lead early on here in this first half of Map 3. Again, loser going home. Winner moving on to play Spirit tomorrow for a chance at a spot in the semifinals, which take place on tomorrow as well, actually.
It actually happened on Tuesday, Dustin. I don't know what you read about. You losing track of your schedule there for a second.
Mate, I don't know. I am all over the place right now. But B.O.O.T. Dreamscape are all in door.
You love the Julies at
quite
least.
gathered. Yep. Oh, that incendiary from Aeon's going to be quite spicy. Might be cooking up some players soon. Ooh, this would hurt, actually. If they play retake A, and this is like a hard counter to people playing quad, is rushing door. This could get dangerous.
There you go. Just annihilates them on sight. Looks like some damage is going to be done, but the flashes are good as well. Means that they are effectively just being overwhelmed from every angle. The smokes then come down as well. Makes life even more difficult. Obviously, Summer still standing with an AWP is less than perfect. There really is no angles for him to make work.
They need to get these HE grenades out there and get some free kills on some of these damaged players towards quad or something like that. But they're not even going to try. They're just going to back up and save, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's...
I feel like if you could have gotten in an angle where you could nade stack quad with your 2 HEs, like if you go middle and throw them from highway or something, they could have gotten maybe a free kill or two, and that could have set them up to actually have a chance to retake, because they did have a kid on Lovey. So giving up this round is actually a tough pill to swallow, I feel like, if you're Flash. Like, this is the advantage you fought for last round, was to get them onto a reset, have an easier time. But again, like, I think B.O.O.T-d makes a great call. Playing heavy squeaky door against a team playing passive A towards quad is the perfect way to get pistols into close range and give yourself your best chance. And it panned out. So props to him.
Yeah, making it work. It's keeping just one round the difference between these two teams currently. Who do spend up pretty much every penny, and they're pretty one at that into this round. Obviously, Moxie has a few $1,000s left in the bank to carry over, but outside of that, everyone is pretty much fully invested. So it still is a game that is tighter than ever.
Big kill from B.O.O.T-d to kick this one off, taking Alman out.
Ooh, aggressive play from Lovey as well means that it is just going to further the lead now for Boot, as they do claim an additional kill. Those UMPs really having an impact. Obviously, money being made as well is the kind of the underlying comment to the success of Boot in this round early on.
Yeah, now Flash Gaming don't really have a whole lot of ways back into this round. B.O.O.T-d look pretty well poised to go ahead and tie this game up early on at 3-all, as they just keep playing discipline, getting that mid control. Again, that's the thing. Boot are going to be better tactically than Flash. Like, that's the extremes. Like, Flash are going to be heavily reliant on firepower. I think they have maybe the more reliable firepower in some cases, but Boot does have the foundation. They do have the structure, as they do have a full 5 at this tournament. And to be fair, like, B.O.O.T-d is a really good player, and Splashka and Tommy at times have looked really sharp throughout this series. And really, we've seen others step up for the team as well at different points in time. Like last map, for example, we had a couple of different faces taking at the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, Impression and Splashka. B.O.O.T-d as well, the name that you've already kind of covered, but one that is...
Yeah, B.O.O.T-d and Splashka are like the two main guys to focus on, but Tommy can sometimes be quite good. And Impression had a hell of a game on Mirage, so at least they're getting good form out of their players in this series. That's exactly what they need. Retake Among Us, though. Attacker trying to see if he can sneak his way in. Does get one, but that's going to be it. So retake, not successful. Tie game now.
3-3. A game even.
Ooh. Glad I got to see that on replay. I didn't realize that happened. That was a nasty one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't yield many results past the kill itself, but still fun to watch. This Flash are going to be on to a save this round.
Yeah, it's a downside now. Hands over the reins to Boot. I do think once they have them, they're going to be hesitant to let go of them. Obviously starting fairly weak here, but building up to make it a competitive game, tying up 3-3. Obviously playing a very, very passive T side, not giving any opportunities up to the CT side just yet. Just going to be looking to kind of slowly but surely excavate certain areas like A main, make sure that it's completely clear. And from there, likely then they'll make a decision on kind of where they want to head. But without any information, I doubt they're going to be doing anything too crazy just yet. They're using Splashka and Impression kind of as their probes, just to make sure they're not getting pushed more than anything. And then we'll likely start to see them become a bit more proactive to the later stages of the round. B.O.O.T-d proving that point. So we do see the smoke molly combo come out towards mid, likely then to see B.O.O.T-d run that over, clear out there, make sure close left and under is clear. All that is the play to be caught. Does get one before his death, so at least there's a positive among the negatives here. The B-slip begins to take hold. Nade going over, that's a lot of damage on towards Fancy. Eventually ends in losing his life. And Molly is gonna just achieve nothing towards B.
Yeah, there's good discipline here from B.O.O.T-d. They're making sure that they're covering all their bases, right? They're clearing out tricky angles like barrels, within, the fire. They're also doing it in checkers behind the box. So they're making sure that they're sticking together, that they're using their utility effectively. I mean, yeah, they lost Ben-Kai on the boost, but they were making sure they're the trade. So again, I think they're just playing like better textbook CS tactically than Flash is, and that's what's kind of giving them an edge, particularly on Mirage. It was a huge reason why I think that Flash made a lot of mistakes early in that game. I think that B.O.O.T looked a lot more well put together strategically. I think that's going to be one of the things to keep an eye on going forward on this map as well, as that same thing. I feel like the structure of B.O.O.T is better. Flash is just going to need big individual efforts, or they need to tidy up how they're approaching the game. One of the two. Both would be obviously optimal.
I feel like you can't have one without the other.
I mean, you can have like big numbers without playing like disciplined CS, I guess. It's just all about if you're just going off and feeling it, like Attacker did on Cobble, for instance.
That's true, that's true. A few good nades at least to land all the smoke, but I mean, this is just oddly messy. Attacker playing around the smoke, does the dance, finds himself a partner in the form of Moxie. Norman then gonna just continue to withdraw as they realize they hold a significant advantage. There's no need for them to engage in the dogfights. Force B.O.O.T to walk out of A main and just take the jewels. It's the only way you can guarantee safety here.
Yeah, just kind of a standard to execute from B.O.O.T Dreamscape, but Flash shut it down very well. 3 players a part of it. Now it's just Ben-Kai and Splashka left. They have plenty of time, and Ben-Kai's sneaking around Forklift. He's gotten underneath the balcony player, and he's getting into this bomb site. He's going to catch Alman off guard, but he doesn't realize his player's above him on balcony, and that could be the problem. Lovey, the snake in the grass, does catch Ben-Kai.
Oh, nice shot from Splashka, though, at least able to open up for a surprising kill. Lovey, though, going to twist it back on its head. Keeping us close, keeping us tied up at 4-4.
Yeah, indeed, as close as it gets so far in this half. Really well done by Lovey, playing smart on the balcony, catches the player off guard, that push Forklift, and then he jumps down. That way, Splashka has the op who's going to peek balcony first, because that's where Lovey was last spotted. He's able to, change the elevation, get the kill on the Splashka, make sure that he buries that round in favor of Flash, and he's tied the game back up. Good effort. Which is cool, because Lovey's actually one of the guys I heard was on the chopping block for Chongqing and company.
Yeah, I think that they're upgrades still, though, to put it bluntly.
Yeah,
I mean, Chongqing is an incredible fragger more than anything else.
Yeah, very good aimer over on Vici. And Vici's a team that's really struggled a lot, but he definitely could be like an upgrade to a team like Flash. Though I still do wonder about Flash's leadership going forward. I mean, I think Summer's been their in-game leader right now, but it's certainly something that he's not like super well known for, so I think they could still struggle in that area. But again, right now it's just about trying to see how long they can survive in this tournament ahead of them. This Attacker starts things off on the right foot with that pick.
Definitely good start so far. Nice flash as well, leaving them none the wiser at the growing presence of Lovey and Norman. And they begin to push out. Lovey going to get right behind him. I love this from him. Allows him to spot the bomb, but he can't follow through on the kill. It's a bit of an issue. They do know the position, though, of Moxie, and that's going to be huge. It stops that surprise factor. Oh, Norman kind of flashed yourself, but it works out anyway. You can still use it to get across, which was the whole point. The bomb does go down. Moxie, impression. Names to be said as they tap on away and secure pick after pick. And that changes things now, because Flash, they might have the information, but they don't have the players to follow up on that anymore. And I think that they're starting to consider backing away. I mean, one good nade takes down Tommy, but then you have to actually clear out the site. Impression just swings out, finds one, finds a second. It's simple pickings. The headshots fall into his lap.
And B.O.O.T Dreamscape putting together a nice T-side. Again, their tactics are pretty good. Short of getting stuffed on that 1A execute we saw like in the previous round, through and through, the way they've been getting mid-control, the way they've been splitting bomb sites, they look pretty sharp tactically, all in all. And now they've reset Flash. So we'll just be working with upgraded pistols and UMP in this round, and if this doesn't work, obviously be full save next. So very good chance for Dreamscape to maybe push this to 7-4 before Flash can put together a nice buy. Ooh, Alman just barely dodging some bullets there out in middle.
Look at the push coming through the B. They're going to continue to champion this push right through in towards Sun. Moxie going to greet them with a headshot, so at least keeping it close as we even out again 3-3. I tell you what, there are some loot bet betters out there who are sitting on the edge of their seats right now as no one knows where this game is going to go. It's constantly neck and neck.
It's one of those things where it was worth betting on B.O.O.T because, yeah, they're the underdog, but because this game has such a crazy... like each team comes in with like a weird scenario with their lineups, right? So I think that left the door open for the upset potential from Flash, or excuse me, from B.O.O.T Dreamscape, and they're capitalizing on it so far. This is a 3-on-3 that's very winnable. Luckily, Flash is actually stacking the right site with 2 players, and actually Aeon's on his way over as well. So they're positioned about as best as they could hope to be if, in fact, B.O.O.T does decide to commit to this execute on the B site, throwing away the AWP. Good idea, not wanting Flash to be able to get their hands on it.
Just going to make absolutely no sound, even turning down the CZ there, just to make sure they are dead quiet for then beginning to form like this B play. The molly comes out towards Checkers just to clear out the back of that. Then they smoke off CT and molly up towards upper. So everything is clear. They pretty much know what can go wrong. What they don't expect is Aeon to go charging through the CT smoke. That's a little problematic. They do eventually handle it, but no one's there with attack. Oh no, attacker! All 12 bullets.
Yeah,
out. Now he's got 7 left. 1 bullet in the chamber for a 1v1. You hate to see it. Knife out. Man is going to be going for the stab. Whips up the UMP, but it's not going to be enough. Moxie to finish it off.
Oh my god, he was so good on Cobble. Dropped 35 kills. So it pains me to say this, but he just was the trigger discipline wasn't there. That should have been a free kill on the bomb planner for sure. Still probably has a difficult route to victory even after getting that kill, but. I don't know, man.
Oh, they're pumped about that as well. B.O.O.T know that should have been a round that was off the table.
Yeah, because, I mean, again, like, Flash actually were perfect there. Like, they got all 3 players at the site when Execute was pouring in, so they were in the best situation they could hope for, and they still could not convert. And now we see the repercussions as Flash had nothing to work with this round except for the Deagle of Aeon, and that's already off the board.
Fairly nice stuff so far. Tommy is great at dealing with these kind of eco-round scenarios. He always goes in and gets 2 to 3 kills. We kind of noticed that on Cobblestone. We're seeing it again here as well. Flash get Moxie all chiming in. There's going to be B.O.O.T starting to grow this scoreline now. They begin to force Flash Gaming into a chase. It's going to be 7-4, Dustin.
Yep, so Flash will be able to get back onto a full buy. It's going to be lacking in AWP, but still 5 rifles, decent utility. There is no kit, though, so obviously on a retake scenario, that could make things a little bit harder.
Smoke Flash comes out.
Ooh, Impression takes a lot of damage on his way out to under vents, but he does make it there.
Gonna fly down at least.
Oh my goodness, he barely, he had to run through fire to get that kill. He's on the 21 HP, but he's a soldier, man. He's absolutely opened up. He's actually pushing the CT spawn.
He's got balls of steel.
Oh my goodness.
Take him down.
Effort. What an effort from this man. What a route he took to get there, too. Like,
the thing he's not dealt with, though, and I don't want to take away from his success, but Lovey right now is in a great spot.
I think they know that he's there, though. Or they suspect that he could be. Yep, and now they found him out for sure.
That's incredible. With that in mind, oh, look at the nades. You see those coming at you, you're like, I'm done. I'm just going to sort of hands off keyboard. I know what's coming.
What a beautiful round from B.O.O.T. off the back of Impression. Taking all the licks to get to vents, then catching a player off guard by B big time, and then being able to get in the CT and catch another player off guard. Like, just great individual effort from Impression. He won that round.
It doesn't get better than that, though, from B.O.O.T as a whole. I mean, we can talk about Impression all day long, but also just the team cohesion. Like, that round could have went completely differently if they didn't know Lovey was there. But they instantly knew. Moxie kind of did a little bit of damage, baited him out. We saw 3 nades thrown at him, at his feet. Yeah, like, it was really clean, it was concise, it was surgical. That's probably the best word to describe it.
Time out to talk about things after that round. They know that B.O.O.T Dreamscape are approaching a lead that might be too difficult to deal with if they don't stop it soon. Or at least able to hold on to these 2 M4s for the next round. Actually, one of them might go down. No, never mind. I don't think Moxie's going to be able to. Yeah, he doesn't peek out far enough to even try to get it out. So, yeah, Flasher, they're up against the wall right now.
I have to take a long and hard think now on what they're going to do. Obviously, the scoreline pretty much doubled in nature for B.O.O.T.
And there's DSN behind them, by the way. That's something we haven't brought up yet. DSN, the Swede, a veteran of Counter-Strike. Not in CSGO, didn't really dabble in that game, but certainly a veteran from 1.6. Has been coaching this team for quite some time, which I think has certainly helped them find that structure, kind of understand the European style of Counter-Strike to a degree. And again, I feel like that's how they're winning these games, is the fact that they are just better when it comes to the strategy of Counter-Strike. And now you see the odds have swung in favor of B.O.O.T for winning. Actually, no, it's still favoring
That's the pistol, yeah.
Flash a little bit. But certainly the odds have come closer together on Loot Bet between who's going to win pistol in the second half than they were the previous 2 maps.
We'll see some initial damage being done by Attacker, picking up that first kill. From there, we see a lot of rotations come up towards A. It's going to be Orman, Fancy, and Attacker. Flash play towards B, though. Let's see if this execution really works out. Oh, the double molly towards headshot. Some crispy duck served up for Ale. Nothing he can do about that at all. Splash kit taking down Lovey as well. The beat site is theirs. Fancy can try and respond, but the Flames are just ripping for everything right now to Wildfire.
B.O.O.T is being so efficient with their utility. And
Everything's well timed
they move as a
well.
unit so well. And they have they move so well as a unit. Yeah, exactly. Good timing, good usage, key spots.
Not wasting a second.
Nope.
If you molly that early, there's a welcome chance that then they can try and catch someone as they're crossing the site, getting into an afterplant, whatever it may be. But B.O.O.T are playing like a well-oiled machine. They
Absolutely.
are not skipping a beat.
That's how they're winning as well. Again, it's not like they're super out-fragging their opponents.
Oh, I argue Flash Gaming, I would say, are better individually in a lot of the cases in terms of raw.
Yeah, I think
power.
Attacker's probably the best player on the server. I mean, I would say that. I think Benkai's reliable. I think Splash is pretty reliable. But again, it's really come down to the fact that B.O.O.T Dreamscape just...
As a team.
Yeah, they're just better.
Much more of a cohesive unit.
Yep.
I mean, they have fragging power. That's the thing. I don't want anyone out there to think that we're knocking down on B.O.O.T's fragging power, because it does exist. We've seen some great plays come out from them. Difference is that Flash Gaming can make it work individually. B.O.O.T, when playing as a team, it acts as a catalyst to really push them forward. They kind of blow up to be much more explosive.
I mean, B.O.O.T's like an interesting story because, again, we talked about it earlier before the series started, that B.O.O.T had kind of made some waves last year because they qualified for DreamHack Malmo. And to do that, they had to beat some of the top Asian teams like Tyloo, like Vici, Greyhound from the Aussie scene. But once they got there, they really kind of dropped the ball. They didn't really do a whole lot. They got knocked out early. And then since then, they've struggled against teams like MVP PK and some of the other teams in the Asian region. They actually lost to Flash at Extremesland, the Asian finals last year.
They lost to the Australian Tainted Minds team, which is a team that B.O.O.T should be pretty well matched against.
Yeah, so they've had their struggles, and obviously at WESG, they didn't really do much of anything either, only beating the Swole Patrol team of America, getting knocked down by Godsent big time. So you can understand why Moxie wanted out, right? Because they seem to be on a downward trajectory after the whole excitement of qualifying for DreamHack Masters Malmo last year. But they are looking really good in this series, and they're going to get their revenge on Flash, perhaps, who, again, had beat them offline at the Asian Finals of Extremesland. Looks like that's October 2017.
Yeah, lost the Asian minor as well to them right after.
Yep, sure did.
So obviously that kind of best of 1, best of 3 scenario definitely warranting a bit of a revenge play here from B.O.O.T.
The hype died real quick for B.O.O.T Dreamscape is kind of the point. But certainly they're still keeping it together here really well. They're up 9-4 now. In this round, they have a 2-man advantage as they're swarming on this A-bomb site.
Fancy, nicely done. Secures the double kill on both Tommy and Benkai. That eliminates a lot of that highway pressure. I think it's all going to come down through a main, but Splashka taking down Fancy, steps up strong. Orman is going to bring it back into contention, but Moxie, what a shot to hit. Able to punish Orman like that, completely takes the A site for you. Now you just got to get on, get the plant down. You got a smoke, 2 flashes to work with, and the Molotov. Versus an AWP. Thankfully, Lovey can swap out to an AK, but this is a tough one to make work.
Yeah, especially since it's like a nade to clear out this player quad for free. If he had an HE that's Splashka dead, he's got a 1v1 against Moxie. It's not going to be the case, though.
He's got information, though, now, which means value for him, really. Unfortunately, Moxie apparently is incredible and hit running shots with them.
I was surprised. Why did Splashka throw a Molotov at his own teammate? That was kind of weird. Didn't want to matter.
It worked, though. I mean,
yeah, it worked. They got it. So, 10-4 in favor of B.O.O.T Dreamscape. They look firmly in control of this game. Especially if they can lock this one up. They win pistol second half. Flash would seem pretty near the graveyard for this tournament at least. And maybe the graveyard of this lineup. We could be seeing some big changes to this team after this tournament's come to an end.
I'm definitely curious to see kind of what happens. The Orman on the receiving end of a few shots that comes through the metal railing in mid. Tommy is going to get up into that smoke, and Orman is having none of it at all, damaging 26 HP. I think they're starting to give up on that duel, so it allows Tommy still to stand and get all this value out of being on boost, and obviously follows up with a molly towards sandbags to clear that out. Things begin to really sour out for Flash. They started strong and they got the damage in, but they just couldn't collect on those kills.
Yep, so we'll see. Can Flash find one more before the half comes to a close, or will B.O.O.T Dreamscape keep the tidal wave crashing in on Flash? Looking like they're going to go crisscross smokes at middle to do a mid-B split. Seems to be what's in the cards.
Fancy, you're given an opportunity, a golden ticket. You had to make it work. Now you're at the receiving end of the flames, licking at you. Tries desperately to hold on. That second shot, certainly valuable. Allows him to rotate towards the back of this site. And from there, he steps up huge, not missing a beat. This Flash will take it 5-10.
Yeah, really well done there. They were great at extinguishing those Molotovs, so they never really got flushed out of their positions inside the B site. And so that meant that the AWP of Summer was able to kind of, you know, still be able to be comfortable playing behind the boxes, jiggle peeking out, finding kills, as his teammates who were Heaven and Main were actually kind of drawing the attention most of the time, which allowed him to kind of step out and find frags for free with the op. People weren't really facing him when he was, you know, going for these shots, except for this first kill is the only one that he actually had someone actually aiming at him. So really good, I guess, crisis management, I guess you could say, from Flash, who were certainly dealing with a lot of utility being thrown at them. And so they do fit in just one more. Great work from Summer to help move it along and helps them out just a little bit, but again, still well behind. Didn't show us a whole hell of a lot in that first half, that's for sure.
B.O.O.T. hungry for that pistol, that's for sure. Flash definitely beginning to feel the pressure, I think. I'm still curious to see what Orman's going to be up to with the molly here. Always a lot you can do on a cache, especially T-side pistol, right? There's actually I'd say a good 4 or 5 different pistol rounds now that we see run on a regular basis. Professional play.
Yep, so here comes just a full out mid push from Flash. Moxie spotting it from a distance.
Oh, Tommy though, so Tommy can hit his shots. The impact is unparamount, but unfortunately only going to be good for one. Benkai sneaking for a second, but Impression is the player to live up to his name, really.
Holy cow. Easy.
Nicely
You'll
done,
love
man.
to see it. Well played from behind the box in checkers. I think that certainly helped that the CZ was up close on checkers, so he's drawing a lot of attention, allows Benkai to stay hidden. And then Impression coming in from main, like they just bounced off of each other really well.
That's what I was going to say. I think I give credit to Benkai for hitting the shots when he had the ability to do it, but Impression, without him, they couldn't have that battle.
Yeah, it was like a bait and switch back and forth. Like, you know, Flash is having to divvy up their attention between these two different forces in front of them.
Their comms would have been a mess.
Yeah, probably. Have to say that certainly got very chaotic, and B.O.O.T managed through it very well, and that means they're really starting to shut the door on Flash, who now have to take a save in this round. They're going to go for the quick squeaky push.
Like this. Drop the smoke in front of the door.
And he has 2 people to support him as well. He's not alone on the site, so that means he's going to have a chance to get some help.
The big HE as they come pushing on out. Fama's going to call that. Nice shot from Fancy, but that's when the nades begin to come in. Moxie going to come in with the Famas. Oh, struggling. That's not good. Thankfully, again, the nades, the rifles, they did a lot of spread damage, which makes it possible for these SMGs. So they set them up nice and strong. Benkai able to find that pick on towards Lovey and Orman. I mean, at this point, it's a simple one to find.
Benkai with a quad kill after a big pistol round, so he is definitely heating up over in this match. He's already, you know, approaching decent frags. He was actually negative before this round, but he's certainly now well out in front of that.
It's kind of that moment of, you know, if you step up right now as a player individually, you could carry your team to success.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's sort of like that sort of thinking where, you know, okay, I can make a play right here. I can make it happen, get up this round.
And now the frag distribution on B.O.O.T Dreamscape is actually really good. Like, I think their top fragger is at 14. Their bottom fragger is at 10. Or at 16 and 10. He jumped up. Yeah, he jumped up after that quad kill round. Yeah.
But I think for the interesting thing for Benkai is just getting in his head right now. You can see, like, okay, he knows that if he starts to perform,
he's starting
along with the rest of his team, this game is theirs.
And that's the perfect time. If you're B.O.O.T Dreamscape, this is the perfect time for Benkai, your normal, consistent kind of star player, to like start stepping up and kind of starting to get a better feeling of the game. The perfect time for it to happen right here when you're trying to close out the series, to try to move on to play Spirit tomorrow for one of those slots in the semifinals. Because again, I mean, there's a There's a hefty amount of change up for grabs at this tournament, right? I mean, it is a $150,000 prize pool, $75,000 for first place. So
it's a significant amount of money for these teams. The impression this time getting aggressive in a main, forcing that early kill like this in a buy round is critical thinking. Obviously, thinking in that statement is him just then smoking deep A main as well. Pretty so much map control brought in by B.O.O.T so early into a round, and there's no real kind of pushback from Flash. They haven't decided to retake it or anything. They have got kind of attacker pushing and probing towards B, but I would be concerned right now if I were you. I'd be looking at Tommy, a player who has been starting to frag as well, and think, okay, well, what's Tommy going to do to respond to that? I mean, sure, attacker's got out to the site, but Flash's smokes, they're all present. Tommy can see him. Splashka doesn't even need the help. Tommy is in vent. Bomb now dropped. The call can come through. B.O.O.T are just dropping the hammer on Flash Gaming.
yeah, Flash have just fallen apart. Like, they look so good on Cobble, particularly attacker, dropping 35 kills that game. But then on Mirage, made a lot of mistakes early in that game on their T side, looked really sloppy. Didn't really pick it back up, to be honest. Lost that match 16-6. And on Cash, again, they've come in looking really flat. But meanwhile, B.O.O.T keeps building up. They keep getting stronger. It's like they're gaining more momentum, like a snowball rolling down a hill that becomes an avalanche. Like, they are playing really disciplined Counter-Strike. It's good. It's fun to watch them play because they're winning in a fashion that is just, like, again, just really sharp. It's not like they're just freestyling and catching lucky frags or relying on individual efforts. Like, they're playing composed Counter-Strike.
Yeah, really, really smart stuff coming out from B.O.O.T at 13-5. They are right on the cusp of getting this done. Obviously, only pistols in play now for Flash. Those two rifles augmenting this T-side just a little, but overall concern really begins to set in. Spread damage, of course, onto Fancy and Lovey. A team right now desperately struggling as they too try to step up in their last moments. They just poised in a main. Flash comes in towards mid to try and buy an opportunity for Fancy. But it's just the Eagles with a bit of armor behind them. It's a good molly, at least, impression. Position now known, but a great Flash, getting 2 kills before he falls. Oh, that is value for money right there. Benkai Moxie, oh, you just love to see it. Flash Gaming effectively just sent packing. Like,
it's just another example of how effective B.O.O.T has been with their utility. It's been time and time again how good their flashes and whether it be incendiary or Molotovs have been as far as how they use the fire to do damage or flush people out of position. And now they are just 2 rounds away from knocking Flash out of this tournament, and they will have done so, winning the last 2 matches of the series in absolute dominant fashion.
honestly, it is just something else entirely. I never expected B.O.O.T to be able to win this dominantly, let alone have a second map in the way they did. I thought it'd be scrappy, don't get me wrong,
exactly.
but I was thinking, you know,
I think scrappy's the right word for how this series was going to be. I think in most of our eyes, due to the situations both lineups are in. But
also lopsided.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this lopsided in favor of the team. I thought
Scrappy, like, backwards and forwards, like 16-12, 16-13, close games that are close.
I kind of figured it would be a 3-mapper, you know what I mean? But certainly didn't expect, like, back-to-back dominant wins from B.O.O.T like this. Like, Flash not even looking remotely close to winning, and Ben Kai. Go ahead and knife him. Go ahead.
Just get a little stab in the back.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Really thinking it through.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Nice.
There was no chance he wasn't going to do that. I think he was just looking to see if he could get 2 kills out of that situation.
Oh, he's going to get 2 kills anyway. I mean, don't doubt him, Dustin. Come on, give the guy some credit.
You know what I mean. He was looking at A main to see if he was going to be able to find another kill.
Oh, yeah. He
was being smart about it.
To really clear things out. Make sure he gets the information before the comedy comes in. Everyone loves it. You seen the gif of the crab with a knife?
Yeah.
What's not to love? That's what you want in your life right there.
Begs the question, why would you give a crab a knife?
For that. Just that.
For that to go viral on the internet? Yeah, fair enough.
I'd say that's a pretty good reason. Oh, what a Flash as well. Flash Gaming just...
I think Flash are all out of steam. There is no wind left in those sails.
Yeah, they are done.
That ship is sitting in the middle of the ocean with no way to move towards where they need to be.
I'm sorry, you think it's sitting there, it's burning down, it's having a Viking funeral.
Yeah, like someone shot an arrow from far away. I think the Viking funeral is an appropriate comparison. It played nicely off of the fact that they're sitting in the middle of the ocean, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. I've just ruined it, of course. I've given it too much attention.
Oh.
See what Summer can do. 1v3, bomb planted, decent HP, got an AK, got head armor. Okay, well.
I like what you're trying to do there.
I was building it up. I'm like, okay, come on. You know.
Just as quickly as you build it up again, Boot will tear it down.
Yep. It's like when you get the first couple of cards of the card house together, and you've got like that first layer, and then you go to make the second, you just knock it all over, of course.
Yeah.
And here we get to watch the antics of Ben Kai once more. Giving him the love tap in the back with the knife, and it is now 1 round away from moving on till tomorrow. 1 more round just to knock Flash out here and now. Of course, we already had Scar's Absolutes eliminated earlier today by Tyloo. And we do have 1 more best of 3 today. We do have 1 more. It's going to be Vegas Squadron and Tyloo fighting for a semifinal slot in the next best of 3.
Look at it. Fancy's just like, I've got my knife out. Give me a break. Just cool. Shuffling around. And the quick trade comes in. Mid control does exist for Flash. This isn't all bad, actually. They're actually in an okay position here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Concern is that they get collapsed on by Impression and Bankai.
Yeah, again, positioning is definitely favoring them. And now Impression has to worry about his spawn push, but he catches onto it. Comes back. Lovey catches him, though. And this means that a bomb site's taken for the T's. They should actually probably convert this round. So they are avoiding the inevitable, at least for now. Or at least it seems inevitable, the way the Boot has been playing. It's hard for me to see a way for Flash to win 9 more rounds in a row after this to force an overtime. That would be pretty crazy if they're able to pull that off. It would take a substantial amount of choking from Boot Dreamscape for that to happen.
I mean, conversations happen about picking up Zoking, so you never know. The disappointment on your face right now is just something else entirely.
So, there it is. Flash forces another round out of this at least, and probably another as well, because Boot Dreamscape are a little bit low on cash on some of their players, so they're actually going to take a save here. They have plenty of rounds to use, so they don't feel a need to kind of force the issue and buy up here. I like it. They get a little bit of money invested, but not anything that's going to hamstring them in the next round. They're going to do a boost over the smoke, see if they can catch something. Ooh, I think a couple players were spotted, actually, on that boost spot. Moxie might have a crack at something here.
Nice.
Lovey returns fire, gets the entry.
That's what you want to see. Flash need to get roiled up right now. It's the only way in for them if they start playing with that real tenacity. Couple of shots will be found, but nothing too crazy just yet. The issue is, you know, if it goes 3v3 at that point, then you start to get concerned.
Yeah, this is not the way you want to go out if you're Flash. Don't lose a round like this. Like, make sure you're winning the rounds you're supposed to get. And there we go. Attacker laying into B. He's cleared the way for the bomb. They know where Impression is. This should be a done deal.
Credit to Impression, though. I mean, these Deagle kills are still ever so exciting. Doesn't quite realize Lovey is right there, just tucked in behind the smoke, so it will still be Flash gaming. Mop it up, 7-15, but a long road ahead, and that was just pistols in play for Boot. This is the real weapons now, and the double up setup. I mean, this is just one way for Boot to try and cement this scoreline.
Yeah, again, back to buying his Boot Dreamscape. They'll actually have the AWP set up. Could even catch Flash off guard with that, as they haven't done double op before, haven't needed to. So we'll see.
Nice little deep nade, just to try and delay any mid-presence that was considered by Flash.
So this could be it. But we'll see if Flash can navigate through these rough seas. Tommy has a good angle here, being inside the vents. He can, you know, help Impression control mid. He can also be right there to help Splash at B. So this is good positioning for him to have. Could see a Molotov clear him out, though. There is a Molotov you can throw that would... Wait, did attacker just met? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that's gone well.
Interesting Molotov. Do they have one for sandbags? Are they going to get Impression out of here, or did he waste the Molotov they would normally use to clear sandbags?
They've still got 2 more mollies left. The fire for the funeral still present. Just got to wait it out, though. 45 seconds remain, of course. They have to start to gain something. They hit B right now. I mean, I just do not want to see how that works out for them. Likely a very bloody affair.
Running out of time, they don't really have any information. They just got to go for something, and now they are trying to crack into middle, but the hold is great from B.O.O.T.
And they finally do walk on towards B, breaking actually that second player, which is something I didn't quite expect. But even then, now they have to hold on. That is a much tougher achievement in itself. So we have Benkai in vent. Attacker taking that duel. Also has to be so cautious right now about what's going on from up and above, and it's really across the whole map as B.O.O.T play this one very patiently. They're actually going to be given the information on the position of Orman, down into 7 HP. Impression is going to get straight on the defuse. Moxie just going to hold the angle. There you have it, 16-7 will be the final scoreline. B.O.O.T find the revenge win against Flash Gaming 2-1 in this series.
Yeah, again, Flash had beaten them offline in their last 2 meetings. The last Asia Minor, the Extremes LAN tournament back in October of last year.
It wasn't even a 3-mapper, it was 2-0 and 16-7.
Yeah, so it was dominant stuff from Flash. But obviously Flash now a different team without Karsa. B.O.O.T Dreamscape, despite their downward trajectory after DreamHack Masters Malmo, they do show up today, even with Moxie only being a stand-in and looking like he's going to be departing the team. They still have that familiarity with each other. They still have that structure. They still have that foundation. They put it to good use in this series. They wiped the floor with Flash in those last 2 matches. It wasn't even close.
Unfortunate that it has to end this way. But for Flash, it's a time to shake hands and learn from your lessons, I think, moving forward.
Yeah, again, I think you're going to see a completely different Flash team going forward from this tournament. Again, they were without Kaze at this event, which raises a lot of question marks. Why wasn't he at this tournament? Everyone's been very silent about that. I think that's very suspicious, like what's going on. Like,
yeah, it's a bit...
Because, again, the rumor I had heard for Flash was that apparently they were going to drop Lovey and Aeon, and they were going to pick up Chongqing and Freeman to go alongside Fancy Summer Attacker, and I guess they were going to keep Alman. Was the thought process there. So that was going to be their 5 going forward. Or excuse me, they were going to have Kaze still as well in that tournament. So it'd be like Chongqing, Freeman, Kaze, Summer, and Attacker was supposed to be the 5 they were going to have going forward. But now at this event, they obviously didn't have Kaze at all. So it'll be interesting to see how things shape up going forward. Because, again, apparently they're supposed to be going through some drastic changes on this team for the next events they have ahead of them.
At least, though, like I said, they've got some lessons they can definitely learn from.
Yeah,
from just playing this event.
It makes me wonder if Kaze is now a part of the new roster. Maybe they just want to go a full Chinese team, right? Because Kaze is obviously from Malaysia, language barrier issues there. Maybe they do want to go with a full team of China. So I don't know. We'll see.
An interesting round for you there. Running out of ammo with a CZ. Less than pretty.
Yeah, for B.O.O.T Dreamscape, again, this is a tournament where Moxie's standing in, but he's still getting the job done with the rest of the team. So they look bright right now. I mean, they're going to go up against Spirit tomorrow. And if they play like this well-disciplined CS, well-coordinated, great utility usage, very efficient play across the board and how they're positioning and trading and using their nades, they could give Spirit a good run tomorrow.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's best of 3 in the morning is going to be actually a great game.
Yeah,
I mean, have to come eyes open for that because that is going to be something.
I think when I was thinking about how they played yesterday, I was thinking, yeah, Spirit's going to be the heavy favorite against no matter who comes out from this end, just because of the weird roster situations they both find themselves in. But now, the way B.O.O.T played this, if they can play this same level of CS tomorrow, Spirit is not going to have an easy time dealing with this.
Thing as well is this is going to give them confidence.
Yeah.
This is going to really inject confidence into their play overall. B.O.O.T are going to be thinking, right, we just took down Flash Gaming, guys. They owned us at the last two events we played them at. We've just beat them on LAN again, which obviously beating them on LAN is a whole different kettle of fish in comparison to that online play.
Yeah, and again, like, it's good to see when you look at the map best players, so you're like, yeah, we know Benkai is going to be the guy, right? Like, we know he's their consistent star player, but the fact that guys like Impression and Moxie, it wasn't even Splashka this map, who's like the other usual big piece for this team besides Benkai. It's these other 2 guys that were stepping up. So that's good to see. Again, good to see Benkai proving his worth firepower-wise, going toe-to-toe against guys like Summer and Attacker and coming out better, the better player in the server.
Overall here you can see the kind of AWPing duel that took place between Summer and Splashkeep. Got to give credit where credit is due for Summer for that. I mean, we did see some nice shots.
And not his normal role, right? Kaze uses the primary AWP. He's having to done it in this tournament. He's definitely been effective at times, but unfortunately, that has come to a close for Flash, as they are now out of the tournament. So we sent 2 teams home so far, right? Scars Absolute of Japan out of the tournament. Now Flash departing with them, and we're going to start figuring out the rest of things for the playoff picture. A little bit later, we have Vegas Squadron taking on Tyloo next. Of course, winner of that will move on to the semifinals. Loser out of the tournament. And then again, we are going to have Spirit taking on now Boot Dreamscape tomorrow for that final decision on who is going to be in the semis. Of course, AGO already in the semifinals alongside MVPPK of Korea.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting playoff bracket building up so far. So pumped to see how things will begin to shuffle out towards the end of today. Obviously, one more best of 3, like you said, today. And then obviously tomorrow morning as well. I'm really excited for the Spirit match now, actually.
Yeah, again, I think it's more interesting now that Boop looked like that in this match, right? I think otherwise Spirit was a heavy favorite. Now I think that it's going to be a more interesting matchup. And I do think that this Vegas Squadron Tyloo game that's coming up next is also going to be interesting. I think Tyloo, definitely the best team in Asia, definitely looked pretty good in this tournament so far. They're going up against Vegas Squadron, who has looked a little bit cold lately. Like they were building up a lot of hype because they played so well early in E-League Boston. Like they came out of the top 24 into the top 16 looking really sharp, but then kind of deflated after the North victory and for the top 8. They got kind of smashed around by like FaZe and Cloud9, get eliminated from the major. And then CS Summit 2, they got knocked out by Torqued. So they've had a rough time lately, and even in this tournament, they haven't looked up to snuff their usual standard. And I think that gives Tyloo a little bit of a window to maybe surpass them and move on to the semis instead. So that's going to be a fun best of 3. And that's going to be in a little bit, right? I think it was originally scheduled to be an hour from now, but I think we're accelerating the schedule a little bit, but we still have to give time for the players to, like, set up on stage and stuff like that. So we're still going to have a bit of a break coming up.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a very short break, probably between 30 minutes to an hour, give or take, when players can get themselves set up and get themselves comfortable. But with that all said, we know where we stand. The bigger picture has been set, and we know what the immediate future is as well. We know who's playing in just a few moments' time. So all that's left for us to say is, once again, a huge thank you, as always, to our wonderful sponsors who help make it happen. And the reason why we can sit here, they're the reason why you can witness this event, and why we have one hell of an epic stage. I mean, that stage in the arena actually looks so damn nice. So pumped to see that kind of fill out with a crowd. I mean, you obviously saw the Shanghai stuff last time. What was the crowd like for that as well? I think you saw a few pictures from there, if I recall.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's been fun to see these events pop up. Definitely a lot of people are interested. Definitely a lot of prize money on the line, so that's good. It gives these teams a lot of opportunity. Like normally kind of these tier 2, tier 3 teams wouldn't normally get a chance to fight for a lot of cash prize pools. With a tournament like this, allow those teams to kind of take those first steps towards maybe trying to get to the bigger tournaments, right? With still some decent prize money to compete with on your way there as you make that journey. Yeah, so definitely cool stuff.
It's a win-win at the end of the day. $150,000 is what is on the line. That's thanks to people like LootBet, Hellcase, and CSGO Fast, obviously broadcasting you live on the ever so wonderful Twitch. Folks, we'll be right back with you right after this very short break. Do not go anywhere. So we have one more best of 3 left for today.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
CSGO